Now that Summer Game Fest is over and everyone announced their space game or gun shooty pew pew game, and everyone has a small handful of games that they are looking forward to and excited about, and if not, then some games that stood out for them and became somewhat memorable for either a unique gameplay or unique art direction. And well, Sludge Life is not a new game at all, with it being released back in 2020, and it was developed by Dozone and Terry Volman, but I still think it's a perfect example for both, because it's truly something unique and something that you can do as an indie game dev that you wouldn't be able to get away with as a AAA developer, because being a tiger stranded in a sea of sludge with various funky creatures, a SoundCloud rapper, a newspaper article strictly run by pigeons, and an evil mega corporation is not something a AAA game company would ever consider making. You know, with a AAA game company being the evil mega corporation themselves. When you first start off the game, you get hit by one of the many groundbreaking puzzles the game has. A passer screen, and around the screen you can find little bits and pieces you can find. And I'm just kidding, you can type in whatever and it works. Which brings you to a weirdly stylized and really cool menu. The passer sequence really don't have any meaning, gameplay wise or anything. It literally just looks cool for the sake of it being cool and being more, I guess, immersive somewhat. And there's something really satisfying about typing in random stuff when you open up the game. I don't know, it's just probably just me. And when you close the menu and find yourself in your 5-star luxury apartment suite / shipping container, and as you go outside, there is the first tagging spot. And that's all the game is telling you. You are a guy, you have to go and tag stuff. You can climb, jump, and in the sludge you move slowly, and on land you move way faster. And this is all that really the game is telling you. There is no way, there is no right or wrong way you can go. I mean, if there is only two ways you can go, and one of them is population, another one is a sea of endless sludge and probably sea monsters. Listen, this might sound incredibly stupid, but it took me several playthroughs of the game to realize that this is indeed a platformer. I think I genuinely have brain rot. And it's a pretty good platformer, I'm not gonna lie. When you explore this beginner area a little bit, you can come across the first item the game is giving you, a camera which lets you spot tagging locations from basically anywhere. And this is truly the first tool to assist you on your journey to be the Tagger King. It's a real thing. I'm not going to get into that. And using this camera you can basically figure out where to go next or what do you want to do next, because the game doesn't really have an overarching story or a progression system, and which is really unique given the fact that not really any game do this these days, and I've never really heard a platformer doing this. Well, of course there are NPCs with stories and dialogues, and so there are some environmental storytelling so you can piece out some background information about the world and some stuff, but that's about it really. Like, you're not a chosen undead awoken by the Elden Scrolls Sig, the Starfield card, to tag sacred locations and artifact and defeat Mega Satan and have a battle for Azeroth with him. That was a lot of references. You're just a silly guy. You're just a little guy. You're just an everyday man. You're just tagging. You're cool. You tag your little silly ghost and you're living your life. Your everyday life. Your everyday sludge life. Please subscribe, that was a title drop, you have to now. You can meet up with many NPCs in the game, and some of them are being other taggers. And with these other taggers, you can unlock combo spots, which are insanely cool, and they make this like huge art, and they absolutely just look fantastic. But you only unlock these if you tag enough spots, and I don't think the game is telling you how much you have to tag to unlock the next one, but all of them are extremely cool. And just because the game doesn't have an overarching story, that doesn't mean it can't have ending. You didn't actually think that I'm going to review a game without multiple endings, did you? The game has not only one ending, but 3 endings. A good, a bad, and a weird. And the weird one is really weird, even for the standards of this game. And the first 2 endings you can basically unlock by just going to them and going to the location where the endings happen, and they just happen. Okay, and speaking of which, this is actually something I don't really like about the game. I can see why they did it, and I can see the positives and upsides of it, but I just don't really like it, honestly. As I mentioned, there are tools, 4 to be exact. First being the camera, you know, which reveals tagging spots around the world, basically. 2, there's a glider, which, you know, lets you glide from higher spots to reach otherwise unreachable locations. 3, there's a teleporter device, which you can use to anchor down and teleport back to the anchored position, basically whenever and wherever you are. And 4, there is a jar of eyeballs, which shows you the direction of the nearest tagging spots, and the camera and the eyeballs are pretty similar in what they do, but I guess that's only so much you can do with tools in this game to help you out. Also, there is a map, but I don't really consider that being a tool because, you know, it's like it doesn't really help you at anything really. My problem is that outside of using them just to use them, there is no much use to them. I mean, like, there's one tag spot you actually need to use the teleporter for just to reach it, but it's in the same room as the bad ending, so I don't really consider that a thing, you know. And the glider, the eyeball, and the camera, you really only use it for the weird ending, because for the weird ending you have to tag every single location around the map. And this is basically what I would like to see from a potential sequel or anything this game has mod, maybe add locations that you can only reach with the teleporter, or with more locations that you have to glide, and more stuff like that. Basically, I would love to see that, more challenging puzzles, really. Oh yeah, let's talk a little bit about the art direction. The game is very cartoony with surrealistic scenarios and sort of like this acid trip like imagery to it, and there is this controlled chaos going on, which I honestly really enjoy and really like. The sky is always this greenish brown color, and the sludge is always black and gray, and there's not much life on this island. Basically, the entire island is made out of concrete. There's not even sand, if I can recall correctly. The tags, some of the tags are really colorful. Your tag, the ghost, being a neon green type of color. The character designs are amazing. There's anthropomorphic animals, big bugs, bug human type things. There's this weird gator sludge creatures. There's birds. Just a bunch of really cool stuff. Also, you can turn on the VHS filter, which turns the game into the cel-shaded type of like art style, which looks just as really cool. But it kind of creeps me out, so I'm just gonna leave that on. And that's not really all, because not only the soundtrack of the game is some of the most unique music I heard in my entire life, but also it only plays when you're near like radios or other stuff that, you know, makes music happen, really. And basically the ambient noise and everything and just the sound design is really satisfying. The game is just so cool to walk around that and tech stuff. It's not full of action or emotional story or anything like that, but the world has a life to it and really unique feelings, kind of like an ASMR game, if it makes sense. Also, it has a weirdly good amount of replay value. Okay, when you get one of the endings and you choose to play the game again, you get teleported back into your shipping container and you wake up with all the tagging spots and all the items already on you. There's like an achievement type of thing in the menu, so you can always like check your progression and all that type of stuff if you want to earn all the endings and all that stuff. There's like a bunch of stuff, a bunch of collectibles too, which you can collect, which is weird. There's like these banana slugs which you can eat, and they are, I don't know if they are alive. I don't know how vegan that is, honestly. I'm not sure. This is the most questionably vegan thing I've seen in my entire life. You can also smoke and drink cola, and also you can collect little CDs nuts. That was not funny. And basically have some apps and mini games and being on your PC menu. Yeah, oh yeah, your menu is a laptop. It's really cool. I don't know if I mentioned that, but your menu is a laptop. It's actually so cool. So honestly, I played this game since I think release day, and it's always something that I just sometimes pick back up just to chill and just listen to podcasts or something, and or while I'm talking with my friends and just want to play something in the background for ADHD purposes. It's basically a fidget game for me, technically. Honestly, the game is surprisingly fun. It's worth just hang out around it, but it doesn't really have a lot of emotional value to it. It's not full of action, but it's really cool. It's a really good game. you enjoyed this video, please be sure to subscribe and like if you want to see more, and check the little ring thing if you wanna catch me upload more frequently. If you dislike the video, be sure to dislike it and let me know about your opinions. Let me know what you think about the game or what you think about anything. Share your thoughts with me. Also comment down cool video, nicevv. Thank you so much for coming back to YouTube and uploading. I love you so much. You're my favorite person on this entire earth, and I would literally die for you. Anyways, that was me for today, and see you in another 6 years. Bye everyone.